Let God be your vindicator. You're not supposed to engage in every conflict. Don't fight battles that are not between you and your destiny. Most of the things that come against us are simply distractions. You have to keep your face set. It takes discipline to say, I am not going to respond, not going to waste my valuable time. I have a destiny to fulfill. My hour has come. Proverbs says, avoiding a fight is a mark of honor. It's easy to get in conflict, upset, offended, want to pay people back. That doesn't take any discipline. Avoiding a fight, not taking the bait, not being drawn into conflict, that takes your face being set. The next time something comes against you, ask yourself, is this a battle worth fighting, or is it simply a distraction?
Sometimes you stay busy to stay out of your own head, but you got all of these different voices in your head making you doubt yourself, making you overthink yourself, making you question yourself, making you angry about things, making you intimidated by things, making you fearful about things. And for us to get out of the bed in the morning takes courage, because we have to fight our way out of the bed in the morning. Can I get an amen? And the worst part about the fight is nobody gets to pick their opponent. Nobody gets to choose, I want to wrestle with insecurity. I pick intimidation. By the way, it's not necessarily a sign of strength. Can be a sign of weakness, because you only feel safe when you're in control. No one gets to pick what they're fighting with. If I could pick my opponent, I would pick something that was easy and nice and simple and publicly acceptable. But most of us wrestle with demons we can't talk about. Most of us wrestle with demons that we can't trust even with close associates. Most of us wrestle with demons that we can't even trust with our own family members. We don't even talk to ourselves about some of the things that drive us, provoke us, intimidate us, worry us, upset us. This woman had a demon in her house. Now, it's bad to have one at work, but you leave work. When you got one in your house, when you are sleeping with the enemy, all the people under 40 look confused. They don't know what I'm talking about. Sleeping with the enemy. When the demon is in when you are related, this woman's dilemma is complicated, because on one hand, she is clearly against the demon, but the demon has got her daughter, and she is clearly for her daughter. What do you do when you have to fight against what you are against in what you are for? This is the oldest, most primitive approach that the enemy has used all the way back to the Garden of Eden, is to take what you hate and put it in what you love. Goes all the way back to the Garden of Eden. You have conflict because of the direct correlation between what you hate and what you love. I am not conflicted by people I don't care about.
Everything I ever did, the thing that I heard out of people's mouth was, that's impossible. That can't be done. Or no.
I think this idea of loving yourself as a cultural obsession has no basis in reality. I mean, here's the challenge. When you're born, what do you got to do to be loved? Nothing. You're fat, you all over, you throw up, and you're still beautiful, right?
TV to me is just, what do I really think? I'm going to give you my honest opinion. And then, if you don't like that, tune in tomorrow. That's the thing about opinions, man. Everybody's entitled to it.
It's time to rise and shine. It's time to be about that business. It's time to understand that if you want to get something out of your life, you've got to be willing to work for it. I'm talking to the one that wants to go beyond the limit. I'm talking to the one that is willing to work a little bit harder than the next man or the next woman. I'm talking to the one that's been through hell. I'm talking to the one that really wants to take it to that level, yet no one has ever been when you step into that room. When you step into that environment, you've got to be hungry enough to eat. What is coming your way, you cannot be concerned about what can't be done.
Imagine you go from studio executive to studio executive, from agent to agent, from manager to manager, and they all said exactly the same thing. So that's very encouraging, isn't it? But you know something? I didn't give a shit. Because I believed that I can be a leading man. I believed that I could be another Clint Eastwood, or another Burt Reynolds, or another Warren Beatty, or whatever those characters were, Charles Bronson and so on. I believed that I could be those people. I said, there's enough room on that ladder that I can fit up there. And I looked back again and learned from what I learned in sports.
In 2 or 3 years from now, when they go to recruit people, they're going to be able to walk into a living room or see a family and go, I can promise you this. You want your son to come work hard? You want him to change his identity? You want him to build some real character? Well, we started with the program right here. We became the hardest working team in the country. And by the way, everybody knows it. You go talk to anybody who plays our boys, they'll tell you right now, they don't get outworked. We don't give away at bats. We grind. We're dirty. There's a dirty bunch of boys. We work hard. We hit the gym. You don't want to work hard, you're coming to the wrong place. That's what needs to happen in this room. That will transform this program. You have the great facilities. You have unbelievable ballparks. You've got great coaches.
In my case, in bodybuilding, it's all about the hard work that you put in. I said to myself, in bodybuilding, I worked out 5-6 hours a day. I'm going to do the same thing now for acting. So whenever someone said to me, it can't be done, I heard, it can be done. When they said no, I heard yes. When they said it's impossible, I heard it is possible. Because I am a strong believer. Well, I'm going to be the one, I said to myself, I'm going to do it and I'm going to show it to them. Maybe it has never been done before. That's perfectly fine with me. But I'm going to do it. And I did not listen to the naysayers. So people always ask me, when they saw me in the gym in the pumping iron days, they said, why is it that you're working out so hard? 5 hours a day, 6 hours a day, and you have always a smile on your face.
Great coaches. Trust me, I'm around a lot of good programs. I know great coaches when I see them, and let me tell you what they all have in common. You're the great coaches. The way they speak of their boys, of the young men, when they're not in your presence. And the things they want to see happen to you. These two dudes I spent the day with, they love you guys. They're excited about you. You new guys, they're excited about you. Okay? They want you to do well. They want you to do well past baseball, but they want you to do well in baseball. They're also both great players. Okay? Look at this facility. When I was here, we met at Billy Hebert Field's locker room with the 3rd floor. There was not a carpet on the floor. We would change outdoors when I played baseball here. Literally, outdoors. We changed outside. Someone should have grabbed me and said, hey man, when DP's over, stay. You need the extra work. Build that muscle. Max out practice. Max out the gym session. Max out the ground ball drill. Max out little stuff like you outfielders. What if every outfielder on this team just got better freaking jumps?
You need to be focused on what must be done if you feel that you are not in a position to do it then. Why show up in the first place? You got to understand that it takes great passion and determination. To get to the level where you want to be, but you've got to understand the difference between levels. And going beyond them, you can't stay in one place and expect to get to the next place. You can't look at the sky because beyond the sky, there's a great big universe. Now, what are you going to do about it? Are you prepared to push? Are you prepared to work? Are you prepared to dig? You got to fight. You got to push. You got to give everything you have, because I tell you this week. Won't save you. All you need is the power, the strength, and the tenacity. Give it everything.
But the point is, in the beginning you do nothing, and then the oxytocin wears off, and suddenly you do the same scream or yell, throw your food, and now you get yelled at or hit, or the worst one of all, you get ignored. And then fear enters your body, and then the rest of your life you're looking for, how can I get this unconditional love? Human beings have the longest period of dependency for survival of any creature other than other primates. Whales will be dependent for a year, birds for a few weeks, and boom, get your ass out there and fly, you know? It's a different world. We have this long dependency. It's just the nature of how we are. And I thought to myself, so why Why don't we just have unconditional love all the time? And I think my answer is because then you never grow or give anything in life. You think everything's about you.
I was watching Joel Osteen on TV one day, and he said, people's opinion of you is none of your business, nor should you make it yours. You get in a lot of trouble worrying about what somebody think about you, when really, what difference do it make? Whether they wrong or right, what difference do it make? The majority of people who have a negative viewpoint of you really don't even know you. What I found about being successful is, it wasn't me who changed. It was people's opinion of me that changed. You know, I got more, but hey, I'm same dude. But your opinion of me has changed.
You got to have the love for your grit, have the love with every rep that you push out and understand it is up to you again. For most of everything that you work so hard for now, you got to also understand this. It ain't going to be easy. It's not going to be a walk in the park. There's always more to give. You've got to be willing to sacrifice. You've got to be willing to hurt. You've got to be willing to yell out whatever it takes to keep pushing forward. Don't you give up on your life. Don't you give up on those reps. Don't you give up on giving it what it takes to get the most of yourself. If you believe in your possibilities, make it work for you.
And unfortunately, there are a large population of kids that were raised in a generation of parents that were helicopter parents that thought everything should be about the child, and they wonder why they're selfish today. Or why they, don't seem to have great relationships where you got to be with somebody else, you got to put somebody else ahead of you. That's what love is. Love is putting somebody else ahead of yourself. Loving yourself usually comes for most human beings by starting to have a value and just appreciating people, not because of what they do, not because of what they have. It's because you feel their essence. And it's easy to do that with somebody you love than it is with yourself, but when you start to with somebody else and you're not judging, you're truly loving them, then it's much more natural because you're already doing the loving. You're not getting it from somewhere else. Someone may say something, look at you a certain way as a trigger, but all love is self-love. It's bullshit, I don't love myself. If you've ever been someone who felt love, you loved yourself. They didn't love you. They said something, they did something with their eyes, and you used that as a trigger to release love inside of you.
Now you say, I think I'm all that. When in actuality, I really am humbled by all this. I really can't believe God let me have it. I really do understand that I am here but by the grace of God. I'm clear about that. I am so clear about that. It ain't me. It's not me. See, I know the decisions I made, and I know how it got me where I got to. I know how my life turned out when I gave it over to Him. I gave my life to God. Now, I may not be the Christian you think I ought to be. But once again, your opinion of me, it doesn't matter to me. I've just learned not to allow people opinion of me to bother me or stop me. Publicly, man, I've been ridiculed and ate alive on that internet. You this, he think he this, I can't stand him.
If you believe that that weight is too heavy, then you won't push it. If you believe that when you're running a thong and you want to give up, you better find another way and push harder than you've ever pushed. Don't get tired, don't get weak. Find a way and make the way push your body. Push your mind, push your soul, and give it everything you got because someone else out there may want a little better than you do now if you say what you will, then be what you need to be. If you want to get something out of life, then fight for your life. When you're in that gym, find a way to go beyond that limit. Find a way to push your body. It is your body. It is yours. You own it. It belongs to you. The time that you have in this world, you only got a short time. Make the time count.